Attention, there are 4 obscure reasons why our front office decided to abort the contract renewal of one of the biggest offensive stars on our roster, despite his undeniable talent. Who is this league giant whose days are numbered in Washington, and what is this secret strategy behind the decision? Hold your anxiety, as I will reveal what is really happening, and the internal earthquake doesn't stop there. You'll understand why a player from the Commanders, with his $84 million contract, is ready to shine in the 2026 renewal season. Stay tuned until the end, because every detail is crucial for the future of the Commanders. And don't forget to like the video. When this player's contract was officially terminated last February, many expected the Washington Commanders to at least make a courtesy effort. As a fan who follows every move, I know this was a delicate situation, to keep the star in the city. Instead, General Manager Adam Peters and the front office have surprisingly remained silent, practically doing nothing while Samuel evaluates the free agent market significantly. Although letting a renowned talent go away is never easy for fans to accept. The reality is that bringing him back simply does not fit into Washington's current roster-building strategy. Below is an analysis of the reasons why the front office seems satisfied to let him go clearly. Year limit mechanisms. Without credit. When the Commanders initially signed Samuel last year, his restructured contract included years of a no-compete clause, designed to keep his impact on the 2025 salary cap under control below $6 million. However, when that contract was automatically voided in February, the remaining bonus payment was accelerated, resulting instantly in a $12.34 million expense on Washington's salary cap for 2026. Renewing his contract would not magically eliminate the salary cap impact. It would only add his new salary to it, with Samuel currently projected to seek something around $15 million to $16 million annually in free agency. Paying him that amount and still absorbing the salary cap impact is exactly the opposite of efficient roster building. The compensatory pick game. If Samuel signs a lucrative contract with another team like the Chiefs or the Bengals, which are targets of many rumors, the Commanders could benefit considerably from the NFL's compensatory pick formula. A contract in the range of $15 million could potentially yield Washington an additional 4th-round pick. In the 2027 NFL Draft, as long as Peters does not negate the formula by signing an external free agent with a similar value. For a front office actively looking to build a sustainable, homegrown depth chart, acquiring a valuable mid-round pick simply by doing nothing is extremely appealing. Age and offensive trajectory. Samuel is now 30 years old, clearly. Although his 2025 season with Washington was solid, 72 receptions, 727 yards, 5 TDs, the underlying metrics showed a certain considerable decline. His yards per reception average of 10.1 and rushing efficiency of 4.4 yards per attempt were the worst of his career. His game is entirely based on physical and impactful plays after the reception, a style that historically does not remain relevant for wide receivers throughout their careers. Furthermore, with the arrival of David Blau as the new offensive coordinator, the tactical scheme is reportedly prioritizing explosive deep plays. The team is likely to prefer to invest in younger, more dynamic players, with potential for vertical plays that fit better into Blau's new design, instead of a robust specialist in considerably short-distance situations. Low sunk cost, it's easy to fall into the sunk cost fallacy, where teams pay dearly for aging veterans just to justify a previous trade. Fortunately, Peters only surrendered a 5th-round draft pick in 2025 to the 49ers to acquire Samuel for a single season. Since the initial investment was so low, the front office is not under pressure to validate the deal with a long-term contract extension. In the end, Samuel provided exactly the production that Washington needed last year, but extending the contract of a 30-year-old receiver at an exorbitant price. Bearing the salary cap hit and ignoring the shift in offensive philosophy simply does not align with the Commanders' current rebuilding strategy. Former Washington Redskins cornerback DeAngelo Hall believes that Commanders head coach Dan Quinn has the right type of athlete to significantly reshape the middle of Washington's defense. Adam Peters and the rest of the Commanders' front office knew that replacing Bobby Wagner wouldn't be so simple when it comes to signing another player clearly. What Wagner brought is not something easily found. Experience, preparation, and a notable presence in the middle of the defense. Qualities that aren't learned by a rookie overnight. This is exactly the situation Sonny Styles finds himself in after being selected 7th overall in the draft by Washington. Hall believes the rookie has the kind of athletic skill needed to eventually offer something similar. He's an exceptional athlete, Hall said clearly to Hard Rock Bet. He's a guy who can make all kinds of plays all over the field. Hall believes Wagner could help Styles develop significantly. Hall didn't stop there, adding that he believes the team would benefit greatly from Wagner's return to the group. Wagner is still a free agent. The Commanders could be in a perfect position if they could bring him back. He could teach Styles the process of becoming a great player in the NFL clearly. Styles would learn a lot from Wagner about how to be a professional, how to take care of his body, and how to analyze game film. Washington has publicly left the door open for Wagner's return, but there are no indications that a reunion is on the horizon. Hall's main idea was easy to understand. Styles can replace some of what Wagner offered physically to Washington. The mental preparation and understanding of the position that Wagner possessed will take considerably more time to acquire. There's not much that Styles can't do. He reminds me a lot of young Bobby Wagner when he came into the NFL. Wagner could cover tight ends and guard slot receivers as well, clearly. Styles can step in and have the same effect. He can make a lot of things happen for your defense. Dan Quinn can keep Sonny Styles moving significantly. Hall also drew some parallels between Styles' skills and Quinn's experience with Micah Parsons in Dallas. Parsons entered the league as an outside linebacker, but Quinn quickly began to alternate him between linebacker and edge rusher. His role in pressuring the quarterback expanded after DeMarcus Lawrence's injury, allowing Quinn to tap into Parsons' full athletic potential. While Hall isn't directly suggesting that Styles would follow a similar path, he clearly trusts Quinn's ability to utilize this type of athlete clearly. Obviously, Parsons became an excellent pass rusher, but when he played as an inside linebacker early in his career, he would move from sideline to sideline. That's the type of linebacker Styles can be in Quinn's current system. Hall is considerably right. There's no reason for the new defensive coordinator, Durante Jones, to immediately decide that Styles is just a middle linebacker, a coverage player or a pressure option who can move around the field. Washington can let him play from sideline to sideline and allow other aspects of his game to develop, as Jones and Quinn learn where he can have the most clear impact. Hall also thinks the best way is to keep things simple for now. His job will be to find the ball and go after it considerably. Sonny Styles still has a long way to go before getting close to the level of player that Wagner was. His ability to read offenses, deal with blockers using hands, and turn his athletic ability into consistent production needs to be proven first. At this moment, the comparison to Wagner should not be interpreted as if he is already close to becoming the player Wagner was. Hall was simply saying that they replaced one of the league's most skilled veteran linebackers with one of the most talented young athletes. Now it's up to Washington's coaching staff to ensure he takes the necessary time to think before starting to make plays clearly. The Washington Commanders will have considerable high expectations for the 2026 season. The team bolstered its coaching staff by hiring new coordinators for both sides of the ball. Perhaps these changes will help further elevate the veteran players still part of the roster. The athletic team took turns naming players who could stand out in the 2026 NFL season. Nicky Jhabvala picked Commanders defensive tackle Darren Payne clearly. Payne will be in the last year of his contract, which has historically proven beneficial for Washington. We hope a motivated Payne fits perfectly into Durante Jones's new defensive scheme considerably. Coincidence or not, Payne has a history of elevating his level of play in contract years. And adapting to Durante Jones's scheme could earn him another lucrative contract in Washington or elsewhere. Payne's versatility, explosiveness, and ability to stop the run make him a great option for Jones's system, which features more versatile players clearly. Payne managed only 46 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble in the 2025 season. But the last time Payne played in a 3-4 defensive alignment, he stood out considerably. Payne had a career-best season in 2022, accumulating 11.5 sacks. The Commanders' head coach, Dan Quinn, is eager to see what Jones can do with Payne. The fun part about coaching Darren is that he's big enough to play as a defensive end in a 3-4 alignment. You saw a bit of that here early on, and he has the strength to play as a nose tackle and the agility to move around. As versatile defensive tackles, this gives Durante even more options on how to align and how to cover opponents clearly. So that's very important to us. Commanders fans won't have to wait long to see Payne in action in this new defense. Washington's training period starts on July 24th, when rookies will report to the team's facilities. Veterans will report on July 28th, and the team's first full practice will be on July 29th considerably. Hey fan, after discovering the 4 reasons why the Commanders won't renew Deebo Samuel's contract, understanding how DeAngelo Hall sees young Bobby Wagner and Sonny Styles, and knowing that Darren Payne is ready to shine in the renewal season under the new defensive coordinator Durante Jones, which of these situations makes you feel most hopeful? Do you believe that the Commanders made the right choice in letting Deebo Samuel go? Or would it have been smarter to try to keep him on the roster despite the contract issues? And more importantly, do you trust that Sonny Styles will develop into the new Bobby Wagner under Dan Quinn's guidance, and that Darren Payne will be able to regain his best football in Durante Jones's 3-4 scheme? Or are we just being overly optimistic with our expectations? Leave your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about the future of the Washington Commanders.